Eli and Cynthia, my thanks to you and the Chamber for once again bringing us together. To my colleagues on the City Council and in government, to the City Manager and our staff, to the many community leaders, neighbors, and friends who are here tonight, and to all who will watch at home. Good evening. We meet at a moment of undeniable challenge. The economy has impacted families, businesses, and municipalities alike. All of us have had to make hard choices already, and all of us expect more hard choices to come. And if the recession weren't enough, this winter Mother Nature came calling with one of the toughest seasons in memory. Bigger bills, reduced services, and a pothole on every block is not exactly a formula for public satisfaction. And those of us in government had better understand that clearly. So I intend to speak tonight in plain terms about the urgent needs of the here and now. But I do not intend to stop there, because a vision that ends with the present day offers no path to better days. Our actions will be judged primarily by their impact on the future. And even in this difficult climate, opportunities for progress are real and significant. We in New Rochelle already possess qualities that most communities would envy. Location perfectly poised between city, suburb, and shore, remarkable diversity of land use and housing, vital institutions, both public and private, and above all, residents with the talent and desire to lift up the common good. Yes, we may bicker and squabble from time to time and not let the facts get in the way of our opinions, but always, always out of devotion to our community. This is our New Rochelle. So now, if we are bold and imaginative, if we move beyond stale, old disputes and focus on fresh possibilities, we can build from our assets an even stronger foundation for a prosperous and vibrant city that each of us and our children and our grandchildren will be proud to call home. Let us tonight consider the essential elements of this foundation, and let us commit together to the worthy cause of building it well. The first piece is fiscal health. If the community isn't solvent, or if it fails to strike a reasonable balance between what citizens contribute and what they receive, then little else can be accomplished. Even in good times, that's a challenge. In tough times, it's much harder. Since 2008, when the recession began, municipal revenues have fallen and mandated expenses have risen. Compensating for those trends alone, without changing a single thing about the scope and operation of city government, would have required a tax increase over 2 years of 40%. Unacceptable. Passing that size burden on to taxpayers already facing hardship and uncertainty was never an option. Instead, we got to work and made tough decisions. We reduced our municipal workforce to just about the smallest size in New Rochelle's modern history, canceled or deferred non-essential programs, and looked for efficiencies in every department. We asked our non-rep employees, including the city's entire management team, to freeze salaries and benefits, and we'll look for the same spirit of common purpose and shared sacrifice as we negotiate new contracts with our municipal unions. Whenever possible, we funded local priorities with money from elsewhere. North Avenue, Lincoln Avenue, Wilmot Road, City Park, even the city website, paid for almost entirely by outside grants with little or no impact on the municipal tax bill. All this while reducing the city's outstanding debt by more than 20% in the past decade, so that today, adjusted for inflation, New Rochelle's debt level is the lowest in a generation. I acknowledge every member of the City Council for the bipartisan, unanimous action applied to these difficult tasks during the last budget cycle. I thank our employees for their professionalism and commitment to public service. And although we sure make our share of mistakes, pound for pound, person for person, I'll stake the efficiency of New Rochelle's municipal operations against any other communities. Yet we know our work is far from done. The recovery is tentative. The unexpected can upend the best laid plans. And changes in state policy may dramatically alter the fiscal landscape, for better or for worse. Ladies and gentlemen, let's understand. Doing more with less is not a passing phase. Doing more with less is the new normal. This means a permanent practice of respecting every penny entrusted to us and applying it always to the best use. This also means that to achieve our many unmet civic goals and ambitions, simply redividing the proceeds of the same local economy won't be enough. If we want to move forward, then our local economy needs to expand. So the second piece of our stronger foundation is economic growth based on transit-oriented development. Now, this isn't a new priority. We've been working at it for nearly 20 years and have already attracted significant investment to our central business district. The taxpayers of New Rochelle are benefiting from past projects to the tune of more than $7.5 million in net revenue every single year. But let's be honest, too much of our downtown is still distressed. Some projects have not had their full intended effect, at least not yet. And our blend of uses is unbalanced, with office and retail well short of their potential. So we've got to do more. And we've got to do it now. The economy is turning. Smart developers are positioning themselves for the next wave. And it's our job to be sure that they place their bets on New Rochelle. Sometimes that means turning the page on a project that no longer seems viable so that new possibilities can emerge, as the Council did this year at the LeCount-Anderson block. Sometimes that means bringing in new partners, like Albanese Development, a group with a stellar record and reputation that's helping us take a fresh look at the Main Street core. Sometimes that means supporting local business leaders and restaurateurs and assisting in the work of the Chamber or the Bid, including successful efforts to rehabilitate historic facades and attract artists to live workspace. And sometimes that means using entirely new strategies, like striking option agreements with smaller property owners so that we can aggregate and market land together as a team, putting new project sites into play. And that's something you'll hear more about in the coming months. The goal is a downtown that in its appearance and in its total offerings appeals to the full spectrum of our population, generates commercial tax revenue to reduce our reliance on homeowners, lets us shop without crossing the border, and serves as a source of civic pride. Now, when it comes to economic development, nobody bats 1,000. You need to swing at a lot of pitches. And if you want to put runs on the board, you need a team with the depth and the bats to connect. So to lay our stronger foundation for economic growth in New Rochelle, let's be sure that our development team has the tools and the support to pursue all of these possibilities to the fullest. And let's do it before any good opportunities pass us by. The third piece of our